Welcome to the Charles River Conservancy Parkland show. My name is Renata von Tscharner, and we are going to talk about one of the highlights of the Parklands and events in the year, and that is Riversing. And today we have as our guest the music director of Revels, who has been involved with Riversing even before it started.
You and I cooked this thing up together.
Yes, absolutely.
7 years ago, Renata.
Well, George Emlen, welcome.
Thank you very much.
It has been a great joy for the Charles River Conservancy to work with Revels. I think we started 7 years ago. This will be the seventh
2004.
Seventh Riversing, and I have been a fan of Revels for something like 30 years. I think that you're now 40 years old.
We're now at
Revels.
40, so you've been there most of the time for us.
Most of the time, and so we want to tell you a bit about this upcoming event celebrating the arrival of fall, the autumnal equinox, and how that all fits in to the Parklands and what you can expect when you come down on September 19th to the Charles River Parklands. And it's something that's going to happen on Sunday, the 19th of September, and we will tell you a little bit about how it all starts.
Left mouse click. Here.
All right. I don't think so.
We lost it.
All right. So the Riversing started really because we were looking for ways to celebrate the river. As you know, the Charles River Conservancy brings volunteers to the Parklands, and we felt that's the work part. There also needs to be a party time for the river, and celebrating the beauty of the river makes sense when you do it at the kind of a special moment, like the one when the seasons change. And it was the Conservancy thought of how could we celebrate the river, how could we celebrate the bridges, and how can we make people more aware and have a party and have fun.
As I recall it, your aim was to celebrate the Parklands, and our aim was to celebrate the season, the changing season. And we had never had a fall celebration. Revels celebrates the seasons throughout the year, particularly Christmas Revels in the winter solstice. But we've never really been able to get a good celebration, and this was our perfect opportunity, and our aims were very synchronous. They were perfectly matched. Yeah. So that's why it took off, because you saw an opportunity and we saw an opportunity.
Yeah, because it started, it was after September 11, 2001, I was thinking of how can we have an event at the river that brings light in a dark season, in a dark time. So we illuminated the bridges, and this is an illumination we did which involved theatrical lighting, and we organized some music and we organized some hot cider. It was the shortest day of the year, and I realized then it really needs somebody like Revels to pull that together, to bring the music, and that's how we got started 7 years ago. So George, give us a sense now of how the people who want to participate in this celebration, how would they experience? How could they join in?
It's the thing to remember is that it's not a performance at all. We do have soloists, and we do have a band, and we do have a chorus. And I'm up there with my friends, and we have a folk band, and we have a lot of elements. But it really is for everybody to get out there and sing. We have word sheets for everybody, thousands of word sheets. So there's no excuse not to come and just join in. It's really about participation. It really is one of Revels' fundamental goals, is to involve people in singing and in celebration. And this is just a perfect opportunity. So people will show up. Some people will get there at 5 o'clock and have a picnic. Other people will go into Harvard Square and come down with a procession, with a parade.
And we have
show
some
up
images of
at
that.
6 o'clock.
So that's the parade in Winthrop Square.
Yeah, hula hoops, still walkers, lots of fun. A band is playing. Second line, Social Aid and Pleasure Society brass band is up there playing their great tunes. There they are. And they, at 5:45, they'll strike out for the river, and everybody will sort of move along with puppets and babies and everything you can think of on down to the river. And at 6 o'clock, when they finally arrive, we will start singing. We'll have Stan Strickland play us a saxophone solo right from the bridge, and then we'll launch right into our first song. We'll see Stan a little bit later on a boat, but to begin with, he's right there with us on the stage. And familiar songs, This Land Is Your Land, and Shenandoah, and lots of good stuff. Lots of choruses.
So that gives you, here on, we see the banks of the Charles filled with people.
Mm-hmm.
And when it all starts, it's still daylight,
Mm-hmm.
and you will then see of how the light becomes weaker and the night falls then very quickly
Mm-hmm.
at this time of the season.
Because we start at 6 o'clock, and 6:40 is when the sun actually hits the horizon. And by the time we wrap up at 7:15 or 7:30, it's really dark.
It's dark, yeah.
Always helps to have a little flashlight to see some of those last songs on your song sheet.
Yeah, yeah. And so here we have some of the singers. Tell us a bit more about the songs that will be sung at this event.
I mentioned a couple of them, and let's see, The Water Is Wide and Michael Row the Boat Ashore, and they're not all water songs, but they tend to be songs about the water. Bill Staines, the folk singer songwriter, wrote a couple of wonderful songs that we've now incorporated. He was a guest of ours 2 years ago, and now we're using these songs. River is one of them, and So Sang the River, and a lot of people know those. But the words are right there in the program, and if you don't know the songs, you can pick them up very easily.
And you actually wrote a special song for the River Hymn.
Mm-hmm.
You wrote that, and you plan to sing that again this year?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Now I Walk in Beauty, that Navajo prayer. I set that to music, and it's constructed in such a way that everybody can sing the melody, but if you want to, you can sing harmony around the melody. The melody's in the middle of the harmony. And what happens as we sing that, and it's pretty dark by then, is that Stan Strickland, remember Stan, he's playing the saxophone, and he's coming down the river on this boat, this illuminated boat, which has a sun and a moon on it.
We'll have pictures of that.
Yeah, you'll see that in a minute. And as he plays an improvised solo, and then we sing a verse, and then he plays, and then we sing. So it's back and forth. And it's really quite stunning. It's just an amazing moment.
Yeah.